Libra. Let's jump into it and have a look and see what's coming up first of all in love for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay, in terms of love. Okay, the marriage card is here. Some of you might be getting a proposal or might be getting married here with the Hierophant. Again, it's Taurian energy, so it is commitment coming up with the Hierophant, respect, a change in relationship status for a lot of you, especially because the Hierophant is literally sitting on top of you here. So I do feel like the Hierophant is establishing a long-term commitment. Now, because the Hierophant represents stability, I feel like there's a very strong, strong but steady connection that's happening. So it's not something that's going to be quite impetuous or something that happens overnight. It's something that's going to take its time, but I just want to tell you, you need to enjoy the pacing at which it's going, because I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for you to grow closer to someone. But there is possibly marriage proposals, celebrations of anniversaries, or starting some sort of tradition, or someone who's going to want to uphold a tradition with you with that Hierophant energy, because it's all about consistency and upholding tradition, customs, and beliefs. But it is talking about commitment, talking about marriage, maybe becoming more open-minded to marriage, remarriage, maybe having your partner talk about the prospects of a long-term union with you as well. Things are getting serious now because the Queen of Cups is here, and she can definitely represent falling in love or becoming attached to someone, because she holds something of very high value, which is in fact the Holy Grail. Now, this can be a water sign. You do have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, so it might be a water sign who's falling in love, or someone who's growing very emotionally attached to you. And you're going to see this emotional attachment through things like compassion, caring, empathy, and this person just wanting to help you. It's really someone wanting to guide you, inspire you, assist you, and you're going to start to see this sort of behavior in someone, or this sort of behavior someone else is going to be drawing out from you, Libra. So not only is there passion, passionate burning flames here, the reignition of a spark with the Knight of Wands, it's much more emotionally deeper than that as well, because you've got the Moon card. Now this can be the sign of a Cancer as well, but the Moon is a very strong attachment, okay? The Moon has a very strong gravitational pull. It controls the lunar tides, which is emotions. So it can be a bit of a roller coaster in terms of love, but ultimately these things need to happen. They need to come to illumination. You need to learn things about yourself, whether this is self-discovery, whether this is learning about a lover. The fact that that's coming up really speaks volumes of what's potentially happening around you in a relationship. Now, for some of you, there's someone who's coming in very quickly here. The Knight of Wands can be that irrationality. There's someone who might want to spark something with you, but I don't know. It's not that the Knight of Wands is incapable of offering commitment, because although he's ruled by fire and he likes a challenge and excitement and passion, and he can certainly bring that va-va-voom to a relationship, or she, it's relatively short-lived, okay? And this is why I want you to establish a more deeper emotional connection. So if someone is really hot and heavy, really bringing it on strong, really coming on strong, maybe you need to tone things down a little bit and go back to basics, because there is messages of love. There's flirtatious behavior, sexual advances. The Page of Wands is daring, is bold, likes to push or test the boundaries. So someone might be testing your boundaries, or you might be pushing, them, testing the waters, so to speak, seeing how much you'll tolerate. And it's important to come into your power here, because the Hierophant is almighty, all-powerful, and he in fact holds more power than the monks here, which look up to this Hierophant in devotion and idolatry. So two very different approaches coming in around you in relationships, or two different perspectives potentially. But nonetheless, the Twin Towers can be a twin flame union here, absolutely. The animals are very primitive and they want to protect themselves. So someone might be very protective over you, or you might notice you're becoming more protective over someone. And the King of Pentacles likes to possess things. And that's not that someone wants to dominate you or have ownership over you, but you might see some sort of tendencies of that person wanting maybe more exclusivity with you, for example. I mean, I do think this is a lot happening for married couples as well. Something about marriage, judgment or justice coming in terms of marriage or long-term commitments, betrothals, engagements, fiancés, etc. So if you've got these sorts of relationships, that energy might be more customized to your situation. But then again, it could vary because there's so many different kinds of relationships out there. But I do feel like there's a very strong emotional bond that's being formed here, Libra, so that is quite exciting. Let's move on and have a look at your career, business, money, and how that's potentially panning out for you. Okay, an important meeting or an interview is going to take place here. There's someone of very high significance who's coming in who wants to meet with you or connect with you. And I would agree to this because I'd say there's a lot of things that need to be reviewed or contemplated and a lot of things that aren't very clear. So I feel there's a lot of meetings or conversations that need to take place in terms of business or career for you. It can be with a boss, it can be someone you report to, it can be someone who is your equal or even beneath you. But there's a lot of things that you're going to be overviewing. A lot of different aspects here because the Seven of Pentacles is deep contemplation. And because that Seven of Cups is here, which can represent quite a scattered energy, there might be things that you are needing to clear up. It can be in relation to finances. I feel like you're going to have potentially a new perspective on finances, or there might be someone coming in to help you grow or make you more money. Could be a financial consultant, it could be an accountant, it could be a business developer, it could be a guru, it could be an inspirational speaker, a business coach, but there's someone who's going to be very, very influential in your career or your creative sector. Now there's possibly some deceit happening here because the Seven of Swords can be deception, theft, indirect communication, miscommunication, or things not very clear or concise. So it's important that you double or triple check things this month, and it could be from a fellow air sign, a fellow Libra, Gemini and Aquarius, or it could just be communication, but there could be something that's either someone is avoiding having with you or someone is avoiding addressing. So there's avoidance here potentially, but it needs to be addressed, and I do see that eventually happening. Potentially job interviews, key relationships and networking abilities or opportunities are coming up around you, which is really quite good. Some of them which could be quite international, or you might be interacting with or attracting an international or national client base, or people who are based elsewhere, because there's a foreign link here with the Two of Wands, possibly even a couple of work trips coming, or a bit of back and forth being based in between two different locations. Could be different cities, could be interstate, could even be international job opportunities as well. But I do feel like there's a lot of support around you. There's people backing you, backing your ideas, elevating you, supporting you, giving you inspiration, encouragement, resources, availability. It could be that you have you maintain a great relationship with clients. Say, for example, if you've got a lot of people working for you, they're going to show a lot of commitment, and things will be smooth flowing for the most part. Some of you are mapping out something here, making a plan of some kind, having a different perspective or mapping out a plan, maybe for business, maybe for a new business strategy, maybe putting things into place, maybe a bit of restructure here. Things might be up in the air, but for the most part, I feel the Seven of Cups holds a bit of flexibility with creativity. So it's either you'll have more flexibility or creativity in the role you're in, or you'll be able to move some things around or hypothetically make up some scenarios here. There might also be bosses or colleagues coming to you with different sorts of scenarios or opportunities or circumstances, and things might be up in the air. It's also creating new goals. Maybe this is new budgets, new targets, new goals, playing around with company culture, shifting company values or standards, either within the company or within your business, or maybe just your passions. Could also be a water sign here. If you're dealing with a water sign, they could be bringing a lot of ideas that you're going to connect over and I guess, discuss them for future. Could be a bit of back and forth with this person though. Some of you might be Skyping with someone, you might be teaming up with someone that is further away, or you might be working for the online realm here. But new contracts are coming in, maybe in loss prevention, theft, fraudulent activity, finance, business development, spirituality, beauty, finance, money, assets. There's a lot of, medicine. There's a lot of different industries that we can deduce from these cards. But nonetheless, I do feel like it's quite a busy month for a lot of you Librans watching in terms of career and business, but growth. Definitely financial growth happening for a lot of you. An incline here in money making, productivity, performances, maybe even earning more bonuses. It could even be a raise for some of you. Some of you might be in two minds about accepting a contract, something that you're going to be offered, but you're going to be in two minds. And maybe it's the money or the incentive or the salary that's attached to this opportunity will have you, I guess, somewhat hesitant. But be careful of the fine print, because there might be something here that's a little bit vague. So it's important that you're very, very specific. You need the specifics. The Justice card doesn't miss a thing. It's very meticulous. It's very adamant. It's very observant. So I guess this is the sort of type of thing that you need to look out for if you are dealing with contracts or liaising with people who are being a little bit vague with you in your career. I will leave it at that though, Libra.